Hello, greeting from Singapore. Welcome to our lifelong learning. My name is Jody Dharmawan from Dharma Life. And today we're going to talk about something I personally feel a bit uncomfortable and to a certain extent feel a bit conflicting as well. Is this dealing with conflicts? What does that word actually mean to you when you're facing a conflict? Now, let's have a look at it from what it defines from a dictionary. It says it's an active disagreement between people with opposing opinions or principles. Now, looking at the image itself, not only it gives you a very opposing energy, but also feels very confrontational. Now, as for me, I feel a bit uncomfortable when it's dealing with conflict, but at the same time, I also feel conflicted within. Now, I wonder why. I wonder whether you feel the same. So we do have a chat box. So if you have any comment, any questions, feel free to type it in. Now, let's have a look at why we feel the conflicts when we face conflict and why we also feel very uncomfortable about it. I personally find that quite often we are being indoctrinated by a few beliefs. The first belief is the good versus the bad. If you are not good, then you must be bad. I don't like to be bad. I want to be good. But do we always have to be good all the time? We don't know. Of course, the next comes with is right versus wrong. I don't like to be wrong. I would like to be right all the time. And hence, I will always try to spend the energy in defending myself being right. If I'm being accused to be wrong, then I need to defend myself. And as a result of that, then it comes with this whole you and me thing, right? Either you're with me or you're against me. And when you listen to all that, does that not feel very confrontational? It does feel that way. But does it have to be confrontational? So I have also another belief, which I was, again, kind of like indoctrinated, particularly as an Asian. In Chinese, there's a saying called 万事以和为贵. What it says, it means for a million things that happens, prioritize to make peace out of things. And as a result, confrontational never sits well within me. And hence that conflict. So we tend to take this attitude of either I want to avoid it because I don't want to have this confrontational feeling, or this confrontational situation that if I can avoid. However, if the situation is bad enough, then I may need to confront. So then it is either or. Now let's look into, if I were to avoid it, how does that look like? Experience come to teach me that if a conflict not addressed, it's like a ticking time bomb. So one of my aha moment was, it wasn't really a conflict, but it was somewhat similar. I'm a runner and I run without socks. And from time to time, occasionally there's a grain of sand that may accidentally get into my shoe. And I was already in the pace, running along, feeling good about it. The only discomfort was that little grain of sand. Do I want to actually stop and address to it by taking off my shoe, take the sand out and putting it back on again, and then get myself back into the running mode? And that stupid mind of mine just simply say, just keep on running. It's only a grain of sand and it's okay. Little did I know, before I get into my 10K mark, that little grain of sand causes that abrasion, and next thing I knew, it caused a big blister. I have to abandon my race. Just because of that one little grain of sand, and I choose to avoid addressing to it. And so if I don't avoid it, then I have to go and confront it. But must it be confrontational? I personally don't think so. I come to learn about it. There are actually ways to address to it. And then the reason why I see things in good, bad, right, wrong, you and me, is just because of that fixated mindset. So if you can change the perspective a bit and see a conflict, can it be an opportunity for us to learn, to grow, or maybe to transform ourselves? Change our mindset a bit by simply shifting from the fixation mindset into the growth mindset. Instead of defending what we believe in, having that open mind, that growth mindset, and seeing, is there something that I miss? You may be able to learn something. Change our attitude a bit. Changing that attitude from being right to just simply, can I be curious? Changing that attitude a bit from, do I have to appear to be smart? Or let's take this opportunity to learn. Changing that attitude from being judgmental into, let's have an open mind and see if there's anything that I missed. Changing that attitude from defending my positions into maybe being reflective. Look upon myself. Is there anything that says about me? Is there anything that I may have caused into it? Again, changing that attitude a bit and just summon your courage instead of, I have to appear to be strong. Maybe for once you can be honest and just to be vulnerable, being honest to yourself, acknowledging how you feel, asking yourself why you feel that way. I think in this process itself, you get to learn a lot more about yourself. And then you can then summon that courage, use your wisdom, and then have these difficult conversations. Have this dialogue. So, but of course, before you have this dialogue, go and prepare yourself. These are a few steps that can help you. First, by differentiating between facts and story. Now, what is the difference between the two? To me, I make it very simple. Facts are something that you probably can take a photograph of or take a video, something that actually you can see, you can feel, you can touch. Take a photograph of it. If there is something that you can do, that's a fact. Story is somewhat what happens after you interpret it. It goes through a personal perceptions, your personal filter, and it becomes a story that you believe in. And as a result, your feeling comes out from the story. Just by simply going through this exercise, by differentiating, putting down what are the facts, and then what is the story that you believe in as a result, how do you feel about it, asking yourself why you feel that way, and then asking yourself, what do you want? As simple as that. Just prepare yourself. Best if you actually could have a personal coach to walk you through this process in preparing your own thoughts before you actually have that conversations. And of course, you also need to prepare your mindset. This mindset of, I am here just to have a conversation, just to maybe see from the other perspective. And vice versa, I also want the other person to see it from my perspective. And through this conversation, we may be able to learn something and transform this into something else. Rather than it is a conversation, it's a dialogue of who is going to be right, who is going to be wrong. And I have to prove myself right, prove yourself wrong. Just remember, change that mindset, have that dialogue. And of course, you need to prepare yourself for that listening skills. So when someone speaks, pay that respect. So I shared with you previously in our lifelong learning about this art of listening. Utilize that. Practice that. Remember, if someone is speaking, and just be respectful as you are in front of a king. Use your effort, 100%, give the undivided attention to listen with your ears, with your eyes, and also with your heart at the same time. And just absorb all that, making sure that you hear from the other perspective, demonstrating that you are here to respect and to listen. And I'm sure the person will reciprocate. And through that listening, you may be able to discover something new. And then sit down and just simply share with the other person, what do you want to achieve? Now, when we talk about this, a lot of people use this ideology of compromise. Now, I personally do not believe a compromise is the way to go, because ultimately, it's not getting what I want, and the other person is not getting what he wants either. So it's not really a win-win. What you do really want to sit down and achieve is a win-win. So sit down and share what is it that you want, and also listen from the other perspective, from the other person, what does he or she wants. Put it down and then work out a win-win situation where the both of you are happy. Now, this is basically the whole theory of it. It's not easy when it comes to real life. I've come across in many occasions to be in one of these conversations. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we may need help. And that's the reason why I highly encourage you, if it really didn't work out, get yourself a mediator. Have someone who's trained to come in, not working as a judge to say who is right and who is wrong, but as a mediator to actually help you to conduct that difficult conversations, allowing each party to be heard and also to be able to voice out their perspective, their feelings, and then try to work out a win-win situation. And in Dharma Life, we actually offer that type of service as well. But prior to having a mediation, we'll also do an assessment and see if it is actually able to be mediated, meaning that both parties are willing to sit down and to talk and to listen, versus we are here to prove who is right and who is wrong. We are here to achieve a win-win. If both have that attitude, that mindset, then it will work. So make sure before you get into this, that assessment is there. So aside from mediation, we also provide coaching services. For life coaching, we also talk about, can help you to find your path, help you to achieve what you want by understanding what your potentials are. We also have searching for your life. We have strategic alignment for corporations, getting everybody to align to basically get your vision through, and helping having your team to own it up and work it out with you. We also have other services to discover yourself. What is your purpose in life? Where you want to head towards, how you want to leave your legacy behind. So the other part of the service that we also do is about a family. So how you get yourself connected with your family, learning how to communicate with your family in a positive way. So all these are the services that we provide in Dharma Life. And so today we talked about conflicts. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop us a line. And until next week, thank you.